And a very good afternoon to you. I'm Lisa Lloyd with the CBC News at noon. Police are today hunting down the man responsible for a brutal attack on a police officer last evening in the city. That officer is now recovering after undergoing surgery at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Reports from police indicate that the officer was stabbed multiple times by an unknown assailant at about 10 minutes to 8 in the vicinity of James Street and Synagogue Lane. Other lawmen reportedly saw him and took him to hospital for treatment. The circumstances surrounding the incident are still unclear. The name of the officer is yet to be released. CBC understands that there was also a shooting incident which occurred sometime last night on the outskirts of the city in the area of Gills Road, Greensfield. Details are still sketchy as well, but reports reaching the newsroom are that a middle-aged man received a gunshot wound, and we'll bring you more details as they become available. A major meeting is being called by the National Union of Public Workers for all members of the General Workers Division. The meeting, which gets underway at 10 tomorrow morning at the NUPW headquarters on Dalkeith Road, will focus on issues of pay and the Safety and Health at Work Act. Workers will also be updated on current industrial relations issues, and there will be an election of a new committee of management. NUPW Senior Industrial Relations Officer Wayne Waldron says the meeting is important for this group of workers.
That division, which is really like the paid and bi-monthly paid workers, the support services. Their issues are always issues of appointment, safe working conditions, and the need for ongoing education in terms of their rights and conditions of service. So this is something you propose to do, ongoing education and training of the support staff that they're aware of their rights and terms and conditions. So we will be in on that situation when we have our discussions.
President of the Barbados Union of Teachers, Pedro Shepherd, says there is a place for lashes within the school system. His comments come as there has been discussion in recent months for corporal punishment to be removed from the island schools. But Mr. Shepherd says there is a line between lashes and corporal punishment.
I see corporal punishment as using a strap or using bamboo. But I believe that a child from time to time needs a slap on the wrist to correct the child. The Bible says, train up a child in the way it should go, and as it grows old, it will not depart. And if we have missed the boat, whether or not families in Barbados can correct it, I am not sure. My call, though, would be for government to intervene seriously at this point.
And Mr. Shepherd was speaking during the annual general meeting of the Men's Education Support Association, MESA, at the St. Michael's School. He says there is a need for religious education to be seen as a serious subject.
There are many teachers who rely on the person taking prayers for the week to teach the religious education. And I believe that religious education has to be brought back on the front burner of our curriculum in schools. We cannot compromise that situation.
Well, many children in Barbados are suffering from stress. This is according to Child Care Officer at the Child Care Board, Delvina Waith. She says this stress is as a result of not only issues between the parents, but family members in general not getting along.
Sometimes you get a family, a situation, say a mother and she has some children, and her sister lives in the house, maybe her older sister, all adults, but they're not getting along. But the aunt loves the children. The aunt loves the children. She wants these children to be taken care of, but the children's mother do not speak to the aunt. So don't you dare speak to her. Don't take anything from her, or maybe the grandmother, or, or an uncle, or this is just, and we're getting this wrangling between families, and they're not understanding the serious emotional repercussion that this is having on children.
Mr. Waith says peer pressure remains a potent issue.
When we look among our youth, even some of the adults, because a lot of our adults, as far as a lot of our people who are adults. So behaviors that would be, you would be teenager or with, young adult, we have adults, mature adults still manifesting those behaviors. So the peer pressure is with them as well. But we have peer pressure in our schools, peer pressure in our society.
Barbados is among 5 Caribbean countries where the World Health Organization will launch a special project to reduce the amount of salt used. The project begins on June the 1st. It's a joint effort of the American Heart Association, the Healthy Caribbean Coalition, and other partners. It will be applied through civil society coalitions in 5 countries and is aimed at preparing countries for their work in changing social norms around salt and sodium consumption. Meantime, a survey will be done soon that will examine salt content in children's meals. The study will help authorities understand the market in order to negotiate with manufacturers to reduce salt. Barbados and other Caribbean countries are being urged to ensure that they prepare for all types of hazards. The advice from Executive Director of the Caribbean Disaster Management Agency, that's CBC, Ronald Jackson. He notes that the region is affected by and prone to other hazards, such as earthquakes, and highlighted the recent increases in seismic activity.
We note that the activities in and around Barbados and in and around the Eastern Caribbean has increased significantly. Whether or not this suggests that we're going to have an earthquake, we can't say. But the point here is that we have to again remain vigilant because of our location and our exposure to earthquakes and the potential attendant tsunamis that can come with that.
Mr. Jackson also praised the Seismic Research Center for its work studying volcanoes in Caribbean countries.
They're partnering with various research institutions in other countries and doing significant work in studying the volcanoes in Dominica and St. Vincent. And coming out of that, CBC and other key players, including the governments of Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will be able to pull this into their policy making around development decision. But also we will be able to use that to strengthen the preparedness and response program.
Regional international stories right after the break.
I've been talking about AIDS all my life. I was one of the first females to do something about it. A condom can save your life. That was when I first came out. Well, I live up by protecting myself. Me and my man went to the doctor and we check regularly. So that's what people need to do, you know. If you have a partner, think you're planning to have kids, then you need to check yourself. Both of you be positive and with them say live up, yeah?
You have to protect yourself. You don't have to use a condom sometime, yeah? You want to go beer back, but you have to protect yourself. If you don't protect yourself, who will protect you? But all the kids them in Barbados, I don't want to go the wrong way. I want to go the right way. Live up, protect and respect yourself.
Together, we can all make the difference. So take action and turn up the message. Live up, love, protect, respect.
Kids, speak up against abuse.
It is not acceptable for you to be abused in any manner.
From your parents, family members, or peers.
You
have the right
to refuse
the abuse.